Nice. Hello. Hi, YouTube. This is a really odd video, I think, that came out of nowhere or some shit. I was talking about it on stream, and decided I was like, hey, this sounds like a good idea for a video. So essentially, what am I gonna talk about here is basically like, I guess it's kind of like letting you guys know like which is a good one to grab with your value badges or whatever. Like what you should spend with your value badges and whatnot, right? Like which one should be used to spend on efficiently, kind of shit like that. Because like, yeah, you have to take in consideration like badges doesn't really come by too often these days. Just because the Guild War is not something you see every single month kind of thing. It used to be the case, but not anymore, because now they're trying to make like Barrage, then Guild War, and then Barrage again, then Guild War kind of thing. So Barrage doesn't really restock anything, but it's like giving you a chance to actually get more badges rather, and more weapons, I guess, in a way, if you can't really do like 80 boxes and shit like that. So it's not really like, I would still consider like badges still doesn't really come by as often. So it's like you really shouldn't spend like unnecessary ones in the shop, as you can see right now. These days, right, the number one thing I remember I used to say that it was okay to grab was the gold bars, right? But I feel like these days, moving on, now that we have this, right, it's not really a good idea to really just spend 450 badges on this anymore. It's more like if you really, for some reason, are one lazy ass motherfucker that don't really even want to host your gold bar raids or some shit daily, then yeah, I guess you could. But oh yeah, before I go on, right, disclaimer, okay? Whatever that I'm about to say next, like up in this entire video later, end of the day, this is your badges, okay? This is your badges. You can spend however fuck you want. I don't care. It doesn't fucking matter. I'm just, as like an endgame player's perspective, I'm trying to let you guys know which one is probably the best way, or more like the efficient one to grab, rather. Like the best, like slash efficient way to spend your badges with, okay? You want to spend with whatever crap you want, I don't care, okay? You can do whatever fuck you want. I'm just trying to suggest and help in a way to whoever that is interested, okay? There, alright, I said it. Big disclaimer. Okay, moving on. I feel like bars is something that you really shouldn't grab these days because of like with all this thing, like I just said a moment ago earlier. And for Evil Lights though, I would still say that you can still somewhat do it. It can be a little bit fucking expensive to do it, but like if you really want to go grab like all the invokers, you want to get it done like ASAP or some shit, then yeah, I can kind of foresee people doing that. It is somewhat okay to do that, but I feel like if you're just trying to aim for like the specific ones, right, like the optimal ones, you know, like say for example you want to get like Kane for next upcoming Guild War, or like Alanan, you know, Nia to farm bars or whatever shit, you know, those kind of specific optimal characters you want to get for Invoker, I think you can kind of somewhat forgo the likes of Evil Lights in Guild War. You could efficiently just go grab the ones they provide you from the Akaram shop and just focus on just getting just these two, right? These two is definitely like the key ones to get, because end of the day, right, you need a lot of Sunlight Stones, right? You need a fuck ton of Sunlight Stones. You know, you want to finish up your 5-star primals. You want to get your Primarchs summons done. Primarchs, I mean like Michael, Raphael, Sariel, those dudes, right? So you want to get those done as well. Then number 3, also you have to use Sunstones for Invokers as well too. So like before you get to the Evolite requirement for invokers, you need sunlight stones, right? You need to max out the summons first. So that's why sunstones will always be like the #1 priority in no matter what situation. Like every single time whenever a guild war appears or some shit, you always tend to want to get sunlight stone for the most part, unless you really just want Evo lights and you do not have enough for both. Then yeah, you can just go for Evo light first or some shit like that. But like these days, because now we are always gated, like for 6-star Jutens and shit, this one is very, very important. But if you're very, very new in the game, you can probably just forgo this altogether. Because this one, the good thing about this ongoing guild war is that this one doesn't like just disappear, right? Because you know they said you only restock every guild war, so like it just accumulates moving forward. So we only have one so far, right? By the date of whatever you see on YouTube or whatever, we only have one at this point. Moving on, but if you haven't grabbed this yet, the next guild war you see as 2. So by the end of it, you only see a total of 10, I think. In before we actually need more of those for 140 and 150, but I don't think they mentioned anything about that yet, so let's hope it's not going to be the case. So you can just grab them later. So it's not too important for you if you're like super new and shit. If you're really, really new, sunstones are probably the top priority there, because you want to accumulate those so you can slowly go into primal, get your invokers. Whoops, I knocked my mic. Yeah, so you can just go on and so forth like that. So these 4 are supposedly the most notable one, okay? These 4. But because now gold bar these days is kind of like, you may need a lot, yes, but it's not too important compared to the other ones, because there are ways for you to get gold bars now, because you know you can farm Akasha, you can farm Grand Order, blah blah blah. Baha HL too. Baha HL is kind of like the much easier one to farm anyway, compared to the likes of Grand Order and Akasha. But like, never forget to always try to host them daily. Like you want, just try to host like the bar raids, like all these ones. You should, if you can't farm them efficiently by joining pubs or whatever, make sure you host them daily. At least not, well, if you say like, I don't know, like people tend to say like, oh, I do not have the time to farm them and host them all. At least host one of them. The most efficient one, just host like Baha HL or some shit, right? Because no matter what, I think, no matter what season it is, like MagFest, outside of MagFest, during MagFest, whatever shit, you're probably still gonna have people joining Baha HL no matter what. Because of the new blue thing is much easier for everyone, and then if you're hosting it, you also have a chance to get it on your host chest anyway. So yeah, it helps. The reason why I don't really say shiny or ultimate Baha HL is the fact that there are a lot of times that if you aren't able to solo, for this one, if you're unable to solo, there's a high chance that pubs may actually fuck you up. Like, it happened to me like once, yeah, only once. One very special occasion where for some reason, I mean, that one's like super rare though. I don't think that really happens often. It's really, really rare. But the motherfucker triggered reason because he's trying to flex his ping or some shit. I don't know what the fuck is he doing. For some reason, I just was like, oh, the raid ended? What? Some stupid asshole from pub just triggered reason or some shit. But it's not that one in particular, but like the pubs that actually joins, like say for example you're hosting during MagFest or some shit, the pubs may fuck you up because they are just there to leech. They're not helping you. They're just there to leech. So that's one very, very important thing. So yeah, the others one, yeah, just aim for the blue chest requirement. This is the Akasha is 1.4 ish, 1.4 something. This one's like Grand Order is 1.5. So yeah, that's, so just try to host them, so at least you still have at least a chance to get your gold bar or some shit. Or if not, you can try hosting Kirin and Longdong as well, but this one is like you really have to be prepared to solo this thing because nobody does them like ever anymore. So don't expect pubs to help you. So as for the rest, I really suggest you to ignore them. Like, you know, the ones that helps you upgrade, like the 4 to 5 star version of Opus or Astral, like this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. It's like all this is like is such a waste because like if you really need those, all you need to do is just go and host them in co-op and ask for carries, because I'm very certain there are people who are doing that. Like especially for far, right? There are so many Luca dudes out there are just going to carry you anyway if you're planning to do that anyway. Or if not, just try to randomly join pubs or some shit from Twitter and stuff, and you can actually get a clear out of those. It's not really new anymore these days. Seriously, because like spending 550 badges on this is not really ideal. Like, so put yourself in this situation, right? Or just imagine, or maybe you're already in this situation. My condolences if you are, but you have to remember, not everyone can be in a situation where you can actually get proper amount of badges. So like for example, like what I actually explained earlier on stream, where if you're in a crew that are just like, you know, tier A and slack kind of crew, but you're like the one of the weaker type of crews, like say for example, maybe your win loss ratio is still like maybe two wins, 2 losses or some shit like that, right? Okay, I need to breathe. So if you get two wins, 2 losses, and you know nowadays like if you get to 3 billion, you can get extra badges, right? So essentially for those crews who are able to do that, they're not really losing out a lot, because if you do get to 3 billion and you lose, you get 60. So but if you win, you get 70, right? So technically you're only like 10 badges behind. But if you're not that type of crew, you're getting like what, 50? So that is like you're lesser by 20. But then you lost twice, right? So that's like 40 badges already you're behind. And that kind of like, I would say it takes a toll, especially when it accumulates, right? Or like say for example, you're a super massive tier A slack crew where you're able to get to tier A, but you're not able to get like a single win or some shit, right? So imagine if you're in that position, you're just not able to get the badges efficiently. So as time goes on, if you're staying in a crew like that, which is why like a lot of times if you're in my chat or whatever, we always tend to say, hey man, it's time to find a new crew, dude, because that is actually very true. Because end of the day, you want to be in a much better crew just so you can get your badges efficiently, like get more badges, so if you lose, you can still get at least a proper amount of badges, rather than you not being able to get like the good amount of badges, right? So that's why like if you're in that position, like you don't really get as much badges as like the higher tier crews or whatever, using your precious badges on the likes of these is like a massive waste. Because a lot of times I tend to say like, if you're not able to properly hold your own weight or some shit in the likes of Far Babu, I'm very certain that Opus is probably not you're not even worthy enough for the Opus yet, because you're not able to like be in that position to actually, you know, carry your own weight kind of shit, right? I'm not sure if you understand that. It's like you need to be like, you know, at that level to feel like you're worthy, you know, that shit like that. But yeah, that's just a fucking joke anyway. But like I said earlier, like if you really want to get like Far Babu done, it's like so easy these days. Just ask for carries and shit in pubs, or just join pubs. It's much better that way in comparison to like wasting all your badges on the likes of these just so you can get a little bit stronger, right? Just get a little bit stronger just so like you're stronger at that given moment and shit. Because like end of the day, right, when it comes to like Guild War and you want to gain a lot of like ranks or whatever shit, you're not, like, honestly speaking, I don't think anyone is gonna be able to get to like top 70k or some shit if you're not able to at least put yourself in a position where you full auto throughout the day or some shit. If you're not able to do that, I don't think anyone is really able to get to top 70k these days. I hope they expand it next Guild War though, seriously, but yeah. So like if they actually do keep at top 70k, right? If you're not able to full auto at all the entire day, or if you're manualing for like at least 4 to 5 hours, might be hard. It might be hard, especially if you're on the weaker side of things, right? So yeah, good luck trying to get like the individual ranking if you're trying to be in that position, right? If you're not able to full auto, because like end of the day, right? Guild War is all about how much time you can actually put into the event versus like how fast you can clear the event, you know? Like say for example, right? Like say for example, like Nightmare 100, 150, right? You can manual and clear that in like say 3 minutes, right? If you can clear that in 3 minutes, if you're able to clear 3 minutes and you can still manual for at least 3 to 4 hours, right? Yeah, your rank is still going to be fucking high, right? If you actually do that in like the last 2 days, right? You're gonna probably still get relatively a good amount of ranks. But because you know nowadays you really need to put in a lot more effort because you need to get like fucking billions now to actually get that amount. So that's kind of annoying, right? That's why for the most part, because of what Guild War is turning out to be these days, badges is so hard to come by. Dread Barrage is one way to actually get extra badges, but they don't restock that shit. So it's like, imagine, right? Imagine if you're in a at least decent crew, right? Let's say you somehow manage to get yourself stronger, right? And then you somehow manage to get in a much better crew. You get more badges. You manage to get a decent, maybe top 120k or something, right? For example, you manage to get that, so you're getting a decent amount of badges as well. Say for example, you get 3-1 or something in like because your crew somehow is a much better one because they're not a bunch of slackers or some shit like that, right? So at least if you're in that position and then you take in consideration of Dread Barrage as well, that just means you have way more, right? You have way more badges to make use of. So like say for example, you managed to already get this too, right? Say you already managed to get this too in a single Guild War, okay? Let's say you have amount like basically what you see on the screen right now, right? Because I managed to do that, right? So if you manage to do that, so say if the next upcoming Dread Barrage plus Guild War, maybe you can also have enough to grab this, or you can grab, if you grab this already and during Dread Barrage, you can also maybe grab this. You can grab a Evolite or grab a extra gold bar. You could be in a position that is comfortable enough for you to grab all these as an extra. While if you compare to like the other one where if you're not in a proper crew or whatever and you're not able to put in enough time or some shit, you're not able to grab these as extras, right? Because in order for you to grab these as extras, you have to like wait for the next upcoming Guild War, Dread Barrage and shit and so on and so forth, right? Just so you can get the extra points that you were missing compared to the other player that has a much better crew, yada yada yada, right? That's why end of the day, like, it takes a toll, right? Because it accumulates so much. Like, that's one of the main reasons why I say is a relatively bad thing to at least like grab all this crappy shit, you know? Like, all these are such a massive waste. Like, all this stuff at the bottom here, they're all just such a waste. Like, you only just want to grab these 4 at most. Like, even like, right, yeah, like I said as well, gold bar is like kind of like questionable now. I mean, end of the day, you can just go grab whatever you want, right? It's still your badges. TLDR version of this is basically Evolites. You should only grab it if you're really trying to like go for a completion, like getting all evokers to like getting all invokers, like all 10 of them. Yeah, that's totally understandable. Gold bars is still very questionable. It's just more like if you really need a gold bar or something at that given moment, then I guess it's somewhat okay, but it's really not really a good idea to grab them anymore. To me, it's like just host your daily bar raids every day, and I'm very certain you're eventually gonna get some in hand. this merit thing, you should only get it if you're already in a position where you got your character, your Sid, Jutens, or Eternals to be at 5 stars. And then if you're trying to push them forward to 6 stars, to Transcendence version 6 stars, whatever shit, then yeah, this one is probably the merit is going to be very, very important, because we're all gated, right? We're all gated by this. We have 9 more freaking Guild Wars to go to grab all 10. So yeah. And then Sunstones is like, no matter what situation you're in, right? I feel like Sunstones will always be crucial no matter what, because there's way too many summons out there, and you tend to kind of want to like get them maxed out no matter what. So that's why, if you really have no idea what to grab, getting a Sunlight Stone just beforehand is always a good thing. I don't think you can really go wrong with Sunstones anyway. So unless for some reason you're already gotten like all those summons maxed out and shit, you're a massive whaler and shit, then I'll probably question you, why the fuck are you even watching this video anyway? I guess that's all I can say for this for now. Hopefully this video helps. Yeah, I hope this video helps. I suppose if not, then well, that's too bad, isn't it? So yeah, that's all I can say. I'll see you guys on the next video or on stream. Yeah, there's probably a few more other shit I can talk about for a GBF tutorial suggestions kind of stuff, something like this in the next few days.